Here we go with On Top the Cage's presentation of Championship Sunday. We're down to 3 football games left. We will pick 2 of them for you tonight. And then we have the Super Bowl in 2 weeks. So,
what week are we?
What week are we? What does that mean?
In the NFL season. 18, 19, 21?
Something like that. This is our 68th show. It'll be our 69th show when we do the Super Bowl show in 2 weeks, unless Dan and I decide to do some sort of thing next week. I don't know why we do that, but
why not?
Why not?
What else are we going to do?
69th show probably made my brother-in-law Grant giggle because he's a pervert. Anyway, it's a good start. So, anyway, not a whole lot happened over here last weekend. Pretty slow weekend. Flipped the hot tub. What'd you do this weekend?
Flip the hot tub.
Yeah, hot tub. You got to change the water every like 3 to 4 months or whatever it is. Flip the hot tub, and we've been using it because we got some snow accumulation. But it was our first like dump of the year, right? Sunday.
Now we had that snow for Christmas.
We did, but it wasn't much. It was like more of a dusting than anything.
Are you
else.
kidding me?
I didn't use my.
With the wind.
I didn't use my tools or anything like that.
Well, the wind and the temperature it just wouldn't melt.
Yeah, it was fucking cold, man. Like
For
wicked
Christmas.
cold. Yeah, like zero, like nothing, nothing in regards to temperature. So
Yeah, Sunday.
yeah,
Yeah. It
all
was
day.
Soup and I made soup and a pasta dish.
That we probably got
Stayed in
what
the house. Yeah.
3-4 inches at least.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Easy.
I was a snow pusher. I was out here 5-6 different. It was wet. It was heavy.
It was not as heavy as friggin' today.
No, yeah, we got reloaded today a little bit overnight.
It was like a freaking snow cone machine exploded out here.
It was a couple of inches overnight that came in during the morning time. You might notice the set changed. The garage door's down. There's a whipping wind coming in. It's moving the board. It was causing problems. I don't recall if we've had the garage doors down before, or this garage door down before in the show. The only time I think we did was our very, very, very
We drank the beer off of that.
first show. Yes, it went down late in the show. We did the garage door beer challenge. So, yeah, not a lot happened over this weekend. Dan, I know you went to Royal Gardens. I think you texted me. We didn't text a whole lot this weekend, but I know you went to Royal Gardens, that dive bar down in the Portage Lakes, a great little area.
Yeah, Saturday night we were there, and my wife had 3 drinks, and I don't know what the hell happened to her, but I could tell the lights, they were out.
What was she drinking?
I don't know if it was an old-fashioned or a bourbon drink of some kind.
Manhattan,
old-fashioned, something, I don't know. One's with cherry, one's with orange.
Oh, that's all the difference is?
Yeah.
Old-fashioned's got to be cherry, right?
I don't know, I'm not a booze drinker.
Not booze. Bud Lights?
Oh, I had my normal, thank God, because she was in no shape to drive.
Oh, shit. Just you and your wife?
We met some neighbors there, and then they were going their own way, and then we were going to go grab a bite to eat down at Caston in Maine.
Oh, yeah. Is that back open?
Yeah.
There's a little brewery thing down. We're talking about this Portage Lakes local stuff, I know. Did you go down there? Did you go to Caston?
Oh, yeah,
Maine
we went
Brewery
down there because
whatever?
I told her, I'm like, we can go as long as I can see football.
Oh,
it was Saturday
Saturday.
night.
Oh, yikes. Yeah.
She has no recollection of being at Caston in Maine.
Really?
Oh, we ordered food. I had to change the order to get it to go. She ordered a Crown on the Rocks. I ended up drinking that.
Did your neighbors stay and you guys bailed early?
they went somewhere else. They went to Lala's over on the other side of the lake.
But your better half was in no position to make another stop?
No. She got it to go and then made it home, and she immediately went upstairs, passed out on the bed, and like an hour later came down and said, "What happened?"
Oh, really?
I couldn't believe she got up in an hour.
But she back up.
I was like, what?
Did she want a drink? Was she ready to go?
No, she did not drink. I think
No?
she wanted some water.
Want some water?
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, she claims it was the half a bagel she ate, and that was it before she started drinking.
I like to drink on an empty stomach. That's my favorite. So.
Well, the drinks over there are good too, and it was cheap.
Where? Which one? Caston, Maine?
Royal Gardens.
Royal Gardens. You drink Bud Light. What do you mean they're cheap? All right, fine.
Yeah, but even her drinks were cheap.
You drink draft beer over there, or your can beer, bullshit,
They
bottle
only
beer?
have it in bottles there.
Dan's not a bottle
They
beer.
have Pabst is on draft there.
Jesus Christ.
And
What
then
else is on?
I don't know. The usual
PBR.
Larry was drinking PBR.
Was he really?
Yeah.
I
He
like
likes that.
I don't know what it is about draft beer. I like draft beer so much better than regular beer out of a bottle or a can.
I think they have 2 or 3 on tap over there.
Yeah.
You got to go with me.
I don't leave there's not much to talk about over what happens over the weekends here because, like, fucking nothing happens. My wife and I don't go out to dinner. We don't do any of that stuff. We hang out here. You know, obviously it's a little bit different set. The golf cart's there. She sits there. I sit in my chair. It's behind the set. You know, we watch sports. We used to watch sports, man. I'm missing football already. The first time we didn't have Monday Night Football.
We got soccer on tonight.
It's getting thin. Yeah.
10 o'clock.
Dan does have his USA Shield on. They're playing what, friendly?
Serbia, yeah.
Serbia. All right. So that's
probably gonna get their ass whacked.
Hey, it's tough viewing if you're just a sports guy. Kate and I watched a movie called Prey. My wife only watches movies where she won't watch a movie unless someone's gonna die, and they have to like die. I swear to, like, in a bad, like, fucking dismemberment and shit. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm like, hey, there's this movie I saw called Doggone, and like they lose a dog, but they find it's like, no, I don't want to do that. Like, somebody's gotta die. The dog died? No, the dog doesn't die. I'm not watching. I don't know. So anyway, let's do beer review. You're talking about beer for a bit. You ready?
Yeah.
It is an IPA from Thirsty Dog Brewery, which is here in the Akron area.
And it is a 50th celebration for the Cuyahoga Valley Railway.
Yes.
Which
1972. 1 year after I was born.
2022.
It's got a cool train on it, right?
Yeah, that's the train that runs the tracks.
You know why I picked this? Oh, by the way, there's a movie out right now, Tom Hanks movie, A Man Called Otto. They shot part of it with the boxcars from the railroad here in Cuyahoga County.
Really?
Yeah. There's a lot of movies that get shot in Cleveland. Whoa. But in the corner, Dan, tell me what's in the corner to the right of the train.
A dog?
Two.
Are these frozen? What's going on here?
Oh, shit, your beer's frozen? Mine's not.
What's in the corner where?
Just to the right of the train.
To the right of the train?
Mm-hmm.
On which side?
Dude, what's wrong with your fucking beer?
There's 2 St. Bernards.
Yes, sir! That's exactly right. That's why I picked it. Is your beer frozen? When I was a little kid, my parents had...
It's either frozen or you shook it up on me, you asshole.
Get another one.
Cleaning up my mess.
It's a straight IPA. It's pretty good. Yeah, when I was younger, my parents had 2 St. Bernards.
Get out of here.
Yes. I never told you this?
No.
Kobe and Corey. Bad decisions all around now that I think about it. I never thought about it, but those names are too close to each other, Kobe and Corey. It makes it difficult. Oh, shit. Now you're causing me problems.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, lots of difficulties here right out of the gate. No, we had 2 St. Bernards, Kobe and Corey. Like, first of all, that's like 300 pounds worth of dogs in the house. I love them.
A lot of hair, a lot of slobber.
A lot of stuff. I love them to death. They love me. They were awesome. I mean, awesome. So, I tell you what, lots of stories. They would get in trouble.
These dogs named Lily and Violet. The names are on there.
Oh, I can't see that. Well, I never even saw it. They're on the barrels. We never had barrels.
They have contests all the time where you enter your dog to get on their beer cans.
Really?
Yeah, we entered Gideon one time.
You get any response? Mm-mm. We had Kobe and Corey, man. That's too close of names now I think about it. And it was a lot of dogs. They're like 150-pound dogs. They were awesome. A lot of different things that they were good for. I tell you what, we lived, I lived on a farm and 1,600 people in my little town, things like that. And back in when we had the dogs, and I was born in 71, so it was probably mid to late 70s when Kobe and Corey were around. And like people would go door to door and sell shit, like encyclopedias, which is non-existent today, vacuums. Meanwhile, my mom, like if someone would come on the property, she didn't know them, she would unleash the dogs.
Nice.
Yeah, I swear to God. Like, they'd be like, holy fuck, man. They got like 2 fucking Cujos.
Yeah.
Put the vacuum back in the van. So, yeah, they were good for that. I mean, they were awesome. They were awesome dogs. I'm like reminiscing now, I guess. But anyway,
I did not know you had St. Bernards.
2. Yeah, 2. They were awesome. Our little town, there's a big event called the Church Picnic. Catholic family. church picnic. It was a big event, man. There was all kinds of games, and there was a beer garden. Like everybody in
Beer
town
garden.
goes to it. And there's a sit-down dinner, like in the gymnasium or some bullshit. And my mom, as a churchgoers, man, like churchgoers, which made me a churchgoer. My parents went multiple times a week. In any event, she was tasked for the church picnic to make 8 different pies. And she makes it, and we have this basement. Part of it's finished, and the other part's not. And it was always the part that was unfinished was referred to as the bad part of the basement. Anyway, my mom makes these 8 pies, and they're in the bad part of the basement, right? She's all proud of them. Get ready to go to the church picnic. Dogs ate fucking all of them. Somebody let the dogs into the bad, quote unquote, bad part of the basement.
Oh my God.
They ate all of them. Like, I've never seen my mom so mad in her life. Oh my God. Kobe and Corey, oh boy, were they in trouble, man. But anyway, they were great dogs. That's why I picked the beer, because of this. And we're running out of beers, that's for sure. So,
That's
anyway.
a cool story.
Good story. All right.
Beer's okay.
It's an IPA, right?
Yeah.
What's our alcohol content?
7.
7. That's wheelhouse, maybe under. So, did you make anything good this weekend, food-wise?
Stuffed pepper soup and gorgonzola spinach pasta.
Oh, that's right. You sent me that picture. It looked great. We don't get enough pasta over here. One of the kids doesn't eat pasta, which means that all of a sudden we don't eat pasta. I don't know, because we try to make the meals fit around them. I love pasta. My oldest son, Connor,
Make that
loves
kid
Italian
toast.
food. What's that?
Make that kid toast.
No shit, right? We never get... I love marinara sauce. Do you ever have marinara sauce? Do you make your own marinara, or do you buy a jar?
I mean, I buy a jar, but I season it up myself every time I...
Doctor it up a little bit?
You have to.
Mids, the local company. Do you buy Mids? In
I've
Canton?
done Mids. I've done
I think it's by
Barilla.
far. Barilla?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck the Barilla.
I have made my own. I haven't done it in a while. I mean,
Yeah.
got a recipe.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, no, but when I make it myself, I'm making my homemade meatballs. I'm throwing pork chops in there and letting it cook all day.
I hear it. Yeah, Sunday I made, I've got a big piece of pork from one of the local grocery stores. Dude, $2.99 a pound. Like it was
Acme has those,
it was like $7.50 or $8 or something.
Yeah.
Like it was cheap, man. Put that in the crock pot. And it was, I mean, I was doing the driveway, watching football out here, all that good stuff. So, but yeah, it came out great. Dan's going to get some leftovers of that for a sandwich. We always feed him after the show. And sometimes we play song quiz, and obviously we have some more drinks. We had quite a few already. My wife pushes the shots. We had 2 little beer shots. I don't know. Oh, you went 2 and 2. Anyway, let's talk about last week. Dan went 2 and 2 last week for the postseason.
I sucked on Saturday.
Yeah? Oh, yeah, you went.
I went against myself.
Oh, you went 0 and 2 on Saturday and 2 and 0 on Sunday. That's right. His mantra, and we'll get to it, the Chiefs never cover.
Never
I'm sure it'll pop up in the show. Dan went 2 and 2 last week. He's 5 and 5 on the postseason. Good news is he did hit his elephant pick with San Francisco. We actually both did. We were on the same thing, or same game. Dan's now 2 and 0 in the postseason on his best bets, the elephant picks as we call it. I went 3 and 1, 7 and 3 for the postseason. San Francisco as well for me as my best bet. 1 and 1 on those. So anyway, that was last week's results. Dude, you got me going. A fucking dentist appointment again on Monday.
Why?
I don't know. You guys remember the show where you guys made me go or whatever it is?
Yeah.
I went, but they scheduled me again, and they're like relentless on the follow-up. They're sending me text messages right and left. Are you gonna show up?
What do you have to go again for?
I don't know. They fixed some fillings or some shit. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. So I go. My wife implores me to go.
Wait,
I
this
go.
Monday?
Yeah. After work. Well, it was 4 o'clock. It was my appointment. I get there. Kenny Hudak, he's a great dude. In and out, man. In and out. 25 minutes. I was out at 4:20, 4:25.
No, just in time to get in the traffic.
Yeah. And my phone wasn't working. I was a little confused where I was to find the highway. I ended up going over the Y Bridge into downtown Akron. I didn't mean to go that way, but my phone was like, I think they didn't take X-rays. Their place fucked up my phone. I don't know. Anyway, and now he talked a little bit about Mark the Mechanic. Dan has this little circle that includes Dr. Hudak himself, Mark the Mechanic. So anyway, had a couple stories about Mark. Nothing too crazy. Nothing that probably needs to be mentioned on the show either. So, but anyway, That was our week. I guess not too much. A little bit boring for myself. Dan had a night out. You didn't go out twice, did you? You went on Saturday. You didn't go out on Friday too, did you?
No, Friday was pizza.
Pizza. What'd you order from?
Giannino's.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. What'd you get?
Pepperoni and I think it was the Florentine.
What's the Florentine?
It's got white sauce, feta, and vegetables.
Oh, I like the white sauce. It's so good. Sweet.
It was awesome. It was actually pretty good.
One topping pizza. What do you get?
No, I mean, I
That's
get
it.
pepperoni
You get one
or
topping.
sausage.
I said
Either
one
one.
topping. I said you get one topping.
Usually it's pepperoni if it's only one.
And you get two. It's pepperoni and sausage.
No, I'll usually do pepperoni and banana peppers.
Yes,
or sausage
sir.
And banana peppers. Just depends on what I feel like.
Pepperoni and banana pepper would certainly be my go-to if I had two toppings. My wife does not eat any form of red meat. Pepperoni falls in that category. It wouldn't
What do
shake.
you mean? It's pork. It's white.
She didn't go. No, two legs. Two legs only. Chicken only. Chicken is the only form of meat that she'll eat, if you will, if it's meat. Is that meat? Chicken meat? Chicken's meat, right?
It's meat.
It's meat. Anyway. All right. We're going to try to make this as long as we can, give you 45 minutes, hopefully, of entertainment and enjoyment. We'll have to probably take a deeper dive into these football games. Tell you what, last week, though, in the divisional round, I mean, the games weren't very good. It wasn't very competitive. There wasn't, I mean, the best game, as far as competitive-wise, was probably Dallas at San Francisco. We opened up with, Jacksonville and Kansas City. I mean,
Yeah,
it was a 7-point result, but it didn't seem like it was really ever in question,
No.
the game. Philadelphia absolutely destroyed the Giants. And then we had the Cincinnati-Buffalo game, and Cincinnati had control of that game kind of.
I still thought that was a good game.
I too.
I kept holding out hope that Buffalo was going to do something, but they never did.
I was rooting for Cincinnati, but I was rooting for good games.
Let
We
me
hadn't
ask you
seen a good
this.
game.
How much does it hurt that what's-his-face at the Giants is gone from Buffalo? The coach.
Brian Dable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because their offense looks shit.
It did. I don't want to discredit the Bengals, and we're going to get into this football stuff for sure. But it wasn't real competitive. I'm glad we don't have a neutral site game.
No, that's the stupidest idea I've ever heard.
It's bullshit. If you ask me, neutral site games, it's a cash grab for the National Football League. I'm glad
there'll be lawsuits. Season ticket holders.
I'm glad they don't get. I'm glad they don't get their little test run in regards to.
Yeah, me too.
To this, because it's probably going that way because the National Football League likes to take the money. I think it waters down the regular season. I certainly understand.
Totally does. How they came up with Atlanta. Why would if you wanted it at a neutral site, that's fine because of the circumstances, because of that one game, but put it where the two fan bases could travel to.
They sold 50,000 tickets. I mean, they have good fan bases in regards to those teams. Don't get me wrong, but I understand Dan's point completely.
But it could have been in Nashville. It could have been in Cleveland. It could have been in Pittsburgh.
Outdoor. That's where football's meant to be played.
Both of the two teams play outside.
They do. I hate it, and I think that's where it's going. I think it waters down the regular season. I know the biggest deal is to get a bye as a 1 seed. You still get that, but you should get the home field advantage too if you're the best team in your conference. And it hurts the team. I mean, you know how much sales there are? Tickets, vendors, junk, entertainment, food, fucking hot dogs.
It waters down the regular season because all we have to do is make it.
Well, to an extent. I mean, the bye for the way it's currently set up, the National Football League playoff format. I mean, the biggest thing is you get the bye as the 1 seed. But still, I mean, you deserve to have home field advantage.
Your fans deserve it. Your city deserves it.
Hey, you played in shitty weather. The last part of the season in the cold.
But
bring them to town.
I may not go to the game, but my ass paid the sin tax, and my beer got taxed, and my cigarettes got taxed to build that freaking stadium.
Yeah. And you mentioned stadiums. I think that's part of it too. I think the National Football League, they're trying to push people to build new stadiums, owners to build new stadiums, so that they can get these games. I think that's where it's going.
So everybody has to have a dome?
Yeah. Or, retractable, I guess. I mean, Chicago, my Bears are going to build a new stadium in Arlington Heights. a good 25 minutes outside the city of Chicago, where the old Arlington racetrack was. For the bettors who watch the show, they probably remember what that was, where the ponies ran. But meanwhile, yeah, it's going to be state of the art, and I'm guessing it's going to be retractable. Chicago's a great city, and they're going to get plenty of stuff. But I don't like where this is going at all.
No,
and fortunately,
ridiculous.
they don't get their little, test egg thing in regards to this year, based upon what happened in the last week of the season with the Buffalo and Cincinnati football game. So thankfully they don't. So we'll see where that goes. As far as football last week, I think Tony Romo watches our show.
You think?
Yeah, I gave him a hard time last week about his ass licking of Josh Allen, referring to him as the alien, meaning he's out of this world. The previous week when Buffalo, who they beat? I don't know who they beat. But anyway, he was like Miami. They were like slobbering over him. It was annoying the shit out of me because I was rooting for the Dolphins. And Keaton and I, my son, were out here watching the Buffalo-Cincinnati game. We put the over-under at 3.5 for him to refer to him as an alien. It only happened once. So Tony Romo must have got the message from on top of the cage. Stop it with the ass licking of Josh Allen. Nobody likes it. So anyway, maybe he watches the show. So I don't know. You got any more stuff before we talk about football?
No.
All right, fine. Let's do it. I'll try to make this show as long as I can, as enjoyable as I can. Dan, I tell you what, I think the 4 best teams are here in the championship games, and it starts on Sunday. There's no games on Saturday. PSA for my father-in-law, Tom.
Yeah.
The first
Don't get
game,
sucked in.
do not watch the NFL Network at all. The first game starts Sunday at 3 p.m. It's on Fox. It's Kevin Burkhardt and Greg Olson on the call.
I like those two guys.
I tell you what, Greg Olson has really come into his own as a color commentator. I don't know what's going to happen with Tom Brady. Do you remember when Tom Brady was going to retire last year and he didn't? And he was going to be at Fox with his big thing, and he was going to be the color guy and blah, blah, blah. I tell you what, I don't think you want to go away from Greg Olson. I like him a lot. I've noticed it. I know Dan's not a big social media guy. The people on Twitter are like, fucking Olson's great. He's great. So, hey, Fox has a #1 booth in Burkhardt and Olson. I didn't think it was there. But anyway, this game is the San Francisco 49ers traveling to Philadelphia. I'll get the line out there quick, and we'll talk about what happened last week with each of these teams, and then, talk about what we think is going to happen. Philadelphia -2.5 in this game. The over-under is 45.5. The San Francisco 49ers bring their 12-game winning streak on the road to the city of not so much brotherly love, Philadelphia. Last week, they were winners against Dallas at home, 19-12. You watched the game, right?
Yep.
Good game. Hard-hitting, pipe-hitting motherfuckers out there. Dude, both those defenses came to play. You could see it, right? Then I watched a ton of football.
How is Dan Quinn not head coach yet for one of these missing jobs?
All right, that's a great point, and I told you,
seriously,
trying to make this show longer. If I am the Dallas Cowboys, I don't want to lose Dan Quinn. He's getting a ton of interviews for head coaching jobs, right? I fire Mike McCarthy and say, Dan Quinn, you're our head coach. I don't want to lose Dan Quinn. If I am Jerry Jones in the Dallas Cowboys.
Who's Arizona? Denver.
I think there's 5 head coach openings. He's a defensive coordinator. I guess
he's
wouldn't take a lateral move,
job.
Obviously. What's that?
He's getting a head coaching job.
I think there's 5 openings.
I thought there was 4.
Carolina, Houston.
Yeah,
who'd you mention? Missed Houston.
Denver and Arizona.
So yeah, I wouldn't want to lose Dan Quinn. Hat on backwards. I fucking love that shit. Standing up in the booth. His defense came to play in San Francisco. People were getting popped in that game, right and left. San Francisco did win the game 19-12. They rattled Purdy a little bit, I think, in that game with the rush and the blitz and things like that. Mr. Irrelevant, he's a rookie. So anyway, I think this is a strength versus strength game. As far as the NFC conference, the Philadelphia Eagles have the best offense in the National Football Conference.
And their defense isn't too shabby.
It's not too shabby. San Francisco brings the best defense in the National Football League. It's
Like
strength
it's 1
versus
and 2
strength.
defense.
We have seen this quarterback matchup before, even though we just mentioned Brock Purdy being Mr. Irrelevant and a 7th-round pick. It's Purdy versus Hurts. And
Iowa State played.
Oklahoma in 2019.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw it. 42-41 final. Iowa State went for 2 after they got the late touchdown. And both of them lit it up. So we'll see. I mean, let's talk about Purdy. I mean, he got blitzed. He looked a little bit rattled. I mean, he's
He
a
looked
poised
shitty
kid, though. He's
at
oh
the
my
beginning.
shitty. I mean, dude, he's a pretty poised kid back there. I mean, he didn't make a mistake, Dan. He didn't throw a fucking pick. Can Dak Prescott say that? 2 of them, right?
No, neither can Dallas' social media.
Dan put up the deuces. That's 2 picks for Dak Prescott. I think he may have cost the Cowboys that game because their defense played really well. I mean, San Francisco has playmakers. I mean, you're talking about Caffrey. You're talking about Debo. You're talking about Kittle. I fucking love that guy, Kittle. San Francisco and their pedigree. This is the 3rd time in the last 4 years that they will make an appearance in a National Football Conference Championship game. That's pretty impressive stuff. So, as far as, let's talk about Dan, our season prediction show, Dan. I don't know which way Dan's going to go on this thing, and I don't know which way I'm going to go right now, frankly. We're going to talk about
I
some
had
more.
San Francisco and Buffalo. You had Philadelphia and
Buffalo. Right. And it is pretty good for our season prediction show, which was shot probably the Wednesday after Labor Day.
probably.
2 days after Labor Day. Both these teams are here. One of us is going to be right in regards to the NFC representative. Whether or not it's Dan or I don't know. Let's talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. They come off an absolute ass whooping of the New York Giants. The final was 38-7. The game wasn't really in question past like the first half of the first quarter. I mean, Philadelphia got touchdowns on their two opening drives. It was 14-0 like in a heartbeat. They kind of did whatever they wanted. I mean, I guess the question going into the Giants game was Jalen Hurts because he hadn't really played, and he played the last game of the regular season, and he didn't look himself.
Right.
But he certainly looked himself against the Giants. There was designed runs. I mean, there was a lot. You know.
Well, and I was worried about the rust for him. That's why I picked the Giants.
Me
in
too.
Points last week.
And they looked so good against the Vikings, but meanwhile,
Yeah.
they couldn't back it up. Philadelphia's defense is real. I expect them to blitz the shit out of Brock Purdy and see if they can make him make a mistake. They led the National Football League in sacks this year. They got they registered 70 sacks this year, 2 off the all-time record. So they have a very good defense as well. Like I said, strength versus strength. I like the offense a little bit better for Philadelphia. I think there's no question San Francisco has the best defense. They have playmakers on every level of that side of the ball. What's going to happen in this game, Dan? We ready to talk about picking a game?
Yeah, I'm taking Philly.
Going against your season predictions pick.
Yeah.
It's short enough. It's under a field goal. Fly, Eagles, fly. I completely agree with Dan. I played it personally already. I played it at this number, -2.5. I like the Eagles a lot in this game. We'll see how it shakes out. I think it's going to be a great game. This show's going too fast, Dan. I feel like we're like 15 minutes away from being done with the show.
We're pretty close.
We only got 2 games. The next game on the board, the AFC Championship game. It starts Sunday, 6:30 p.m. It is Nance and Romo on the call. It is the Cincinnati.
Are we going to get some weather for these 2 games? We're in Philly and we're in Kansas City. We're supposed to get snow here.
Are we? This weekend?
Yeah, Sunday.
Sunday. What do we got?
Saturday's nothing.
Are they saying like significant accumulation? Do you have any idea? That's a
It's
long
going to be
way
the
out.
rain-snow mix.
It's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 3-4 days. That's a long way out. I mean, it could change quickly. So, in any event, Cincinnati travels to Arrowhead, Kansas City. This is a rematch. The exact same game that we had in the AFC Championship game last year in Kansas City. Same 2 teams. That game was won by the Cincinnati Bengals, 27-24. Kansas City had a 21-10 lead. Cincinnati came on top. They are the defending AFC champs, meaning who they, the Cincinnati Bengals. They also have won 3 games in a row against the Kansas City Chiefs now. And that was the last year's AFC Championship game. They played in Week 10 of the regular season. Oddly, 27-24 final in Cincinnati. The exact same score of the AFC Championship game last year. Anyway, they do it 3 times in a row. We'll talk about it. I mean, everybody acted like it was Kansas City and Buffalo. Kansas City and Buffalo. Kansas City and Buffalo. AFC, they're the best 2 teams. Cincinnati, they're no longer the stepchild. They've proved that they are not the stepchild of the AFC. They absolutely went into Buffalo and kicked the shit out of them.
Kick the shit, yeah.
The final score is 27-10.
I was worried about the offensive line, especially that left tackle spot. But I'll tell you what, that dude came in and played like a mauler. I mean, I can't remember the kid's name, but shit, I don't want to say retread, but they signed him. He wasn't doing shit, and he looked freaking great.
Patchwork. Dan's talking about patchwork offensive line. As far as they're missing 3 starters on their offensive line, and we can talk about. And I love Joe Burrow, and I think he's a great quarterback. And we can talk about Jamar Chase, and we can talk about T. Higgins, and we can talk about Joe Mixon, and they have all kinds of playmakers. That's not who won that fucking football game in Buffalo. It was their offensive line and their defensive line.
Yep.
Joe Burrow had time to throw the ball. The defensive line was all over Josh Allen. All over him. I mean, like, they were in his face, right and left. That was the difference in the game. And you could see it early. I mean, Cincinnati was the more physical team in Buffalo. They opened up the game running the ball. Joe Mixon probably had 40 yards on the opening possession. They're like, fuck you. We're going to run the ball down your throat. And they did. I mean, They had a better physical mentality to them. I mean, I wanted to bet the second half, and the Bengals were up pretty good, and there was no way I was taking Buffalo because that stuff doesn't change. No. Physicality doesn't change. I mean, it doesn't change. You know, if one team's getting beat on the line, it's not like there's going to be a flip of that in the second half. I mean, can there be a playmaker? I mean, if there was a situation where both quarterbacks had plenty of time to throw, can the score flip in a hurry? Yes, it can. But meanwhile, when one team is dominating the trenches, that score is not going to change. And it didn't Sunday in Buffalo. That was a really, really impressive performance by the Cincinnati Bengals. The Kansas City Chiefs. And there's a huge story coming out. Did I get the line out here? I don't know if I did. I might be repeating myself. The line, literally, the betting
flipped earlier in the week. I mean, yeah.
The betting public is on the Cincinnati Bengals. This line opened up in Vegas as the Kansas City Chiefs at home, -1.5 points. It is flipped completely. It is now the Cincinnati Bengals -1.5. The over-under in this game is 47.5. Kansas City, we'll talk about their win against Jacksonville. It was the first game on Saturday of the divisional round. And it ended up being a 27-20 final. They didn't cover the 9-point spread because...
Bastards. They never do.
The Chiefs never fucking cover. They don't. I was a winner on that. Dan didn't take his own advice. He's probably kicking himself in regards to that a little bit.
No, I was saying it. Watching the freaking game, I was pissed.
I tell you what, the big news out of that game, and it's the huge news for Kansas.
It's why the line flipped. I mean, that's the...
It's Mahomes' injury, and Dan and I were watching it together. I thought it was a knee when I first saw the replay. I thought, I'm like, he's done. ACL, PCL, whatever,
it
MCL.
Looked like it hurt because my ass would have been sitting on the freaking floor for longer than he did.
Turned out it was a high ankle sprain, but here's the deal with high ankle sprains. They don't improve over a week's time. Those are like 4 to 6 week injuries. I mean, we'll see. I've seen Patrick Mahomes on Twitter walking around after the press conference today. He seems to be walking fine. He practiced today. But here's the deal with Patrick Mahomes. What makes him so special
is when he's out of the pocket.
It's his
improvising.
Yes, his improvisation. And he's a fucking magician with the ball, man. There's just no 2 ways about it. But he needs his legs. He can't just have his arms. But, I mean, they had control of that game. And, you know, they may not – I think they probably win the game. But Chad Henne again. Chad Henne
drove 90 yards down the field.
98 yards. It was a touchdown drive. That's 7 of their 27 points. The ghost of Chad Henne, as far as Dan's concerned.
Yeah.
He remembers Chad Henne orchestrating a pretty long drive against his Cleveland Browns.
He ran for a first down.
2 years ago?
Yeah.
3 years ago?
2020.
2020, just two, so that 2 or 3?
Well, it was 2020 playoffs that year, so it would have been 21. So it was 2 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's come in relief in the playoffs. 2 of the last 3 years and been a very important piece. I mean, threw the ball. I didn't see him running the ball. Oh, good. We got at least that. We got to be a half an hour into this thing. So anyway, but that's the story with the Chiefs. I mean, obviously,
it's a huge story.
And the Chiefs. I mean, this is an impressive thing. The Chiefs make their 5th straight AFC Conference Championship appearance. 5th straight. That's a lot, man. If you're a Chiefs fan, good for you, man, because it's been a good damn run over the last half decade. I know where I'm going this game. We ready to pick the game? You want to talk more about it?
Let's talk about Andy Reid.
Painting mustaches on people in State Farm commercials?
Yeah, what a weird dude that guy is. If you're sitting next to him on an airplane, fucking move.
I love Andy Reid. I don't know. I mean, he's been coaching for a long time.
How many NFC Championship games has he been in?
Lots, man.
NFC.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, with Philadelphia.
NFC only. I don't know. A few.
And they didn't win. They didn't make it.
I see where
How many
Dan's going on
AFCs
this.
they've been?
Nice.
How many Super Bowls has he won? One.
I mean, they
Same
made
MO.
it to 2.
I'm going with Cincinnati.
Cincinnati minus 1.5 in this game.
Cincinnati.
Here's the deal. I love what I saw from the defensive line of the Cincinnati Bengals against Josh Allen, who's a pretty mobile quarterback. He's a big dude. He's a pretty mobile quarterback.
Why is his arm always bloody? Did you see that?
No.
Through his white shirt?
I mean, he's a tough
his elbow?
Dude. Yeah, I saw it. He's a tough dude. I mean, Cincinnati
gotta
was
have
all
a man
over him.
somewhere.
They were all over him.
But that's like 2 weeks in a row. I thought you had to come out if you had blood on your uniform.
No, it's not soccer.
What do you mean? I thought it was any sport.
No, NBA. I think you do. Dude, that doesn't happen. I don't think that happens. Maybe I don't know. I don't think that happens. Well, you gotta wrap the shit up. I mean, you might be talking about COVID. I don't know. I don't know that. But I tell you what. I mean, Kansas City, proven coach, proven offense. It's Mahomes' mobility. I don't
Totally.
And if they nick him, the game's over. If you ask me, I was thoroughly impressed.
How good is that running back from Rutgers? That
Isaiah Pacheco,
Yeah, that
Dan's
Italian
referencing.
kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's Italian, but his last name's
He's from
Pacheco.
Jersey.
He's got to be a guinea.
Dad's probably in waste management.
He's got to be a guinea. Isaiah Pacheco out of Rutgers. Yeah,
He's fantastic.
He's like a
Little dude too. He's not
little,
that big.
and is like a firecracker, man. He runs
He'll
with.
run your ass over.
He does. He runs with some authority. I mean, I love the Chief offense. I do. Kelsey, unbelievable. And the Kelsey brothers have a chance here to play each other in the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Jason Kelsey is the center for the Philadelphia Eagles. Travis Kelsey, obviously, star tight end. He's a lot more pub, if you will.
Shout out to Cleveland Heights.
Yes, sir. They have a podcast, a very popular podcast called The Heights, actually.
Nice.
So yeah, they haven't forgot about their Cleveland roots at all. I was thoroughly impressed with the defensive line from the Cincinnati Bengals. I think they get after Patrick Mahomes. The Patrick offensive line was impressive. We'll see. I mean, I think Kansas City is a little bit better defense than Buffalo does. I think Frank Clark. I don't know. We'll see how it shakes out. I think it's going to be very entertaining. Dan and Aaron on the same page again. Houday! Minus 1.5. I'm going to lay the points. We are on to the best bets. There's only 2 games here. I get it. Who do you like the most in these games? Who are you more confident with in regards to these? Dan and Aaron both on Philadelphia. We're both on Cincinnati. Dan went against his season predictions pick, but I get it. I mean, we're talking about 4 months ago.
Well, you got both of these games come down to the quarterback and which is the better quarterback. Obviously, Mahomes is hurt, and you got Mr. Irrelevant playing
Purdy
for
versus Hurts.
49ers.
Burrow versus Mahomes.
Telemundo.
Yes.
I mean,
We're going to have to watch that soccer game on Telemundo tonight?
We can.
What do you mean we can't? I'm not trying to do that.
It's 10 o'clock, right?
Yeah, I know, but is it on...
Holy shit, it's only 8:30.
8:20.
Jalen Hurts has been in big games. Burrow's been in big games. Obviously, Mahomes has been in there, but it's...
Hurts hasn't been in big games.
I mean,
national championship games, maybe.
Those are big games, if you ask me.
Okay, all right, fair.
I mean,
as far as the National Football League, I don't think so. But, well, I think this is Jalen Hurts' first season as a starting quarterback in the postseason. But I didn't mean to truncate what you're saying or interrupt.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
they didn't make it last year, did they?
I don't think so.
And Purdy's got to go on the road. I mean, he's had the luxury of playing at home.
He's been pretty poised, man. I mean, he hasn't made a mistake. I mean, he looked a little bit rattled in both the games when he got rushed a little bit. And I promise you, Philadelphia's going to bring the blitz. But he hasn't made a mistake. He hasn't thrown a pick in the playoffs.
My best bet. Shit.
I know where I'm going.
I'm going to Philly.
Me too. Fly Eagles fly is my best bet on the board because they're at home. I'm taking a team going to Arrowhead, a proven commodity, a team that makes their 5th straight appearance in the AFC Championship game. But I believe in these Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, Zach Taylor, this season started like they were like 0-2.
Like
this and that.
People were talking about getting him fired.
They're taking the Bengals are taking their 10-game winning streak into Arrowhead. They haven't lost since Halloween.
When we kicked the shit out of them.
I think Dan's absolutely right. Dan and I both like Philadelphia. We both like Cincinnati. As our best bet, it's Philadelphia. I tell you what, next week, I don't know if we're going to have a show. It's supposed to be an unpaid off week for us.
Unpaid
off week.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, it does sound familiar. If we did do a show, it's just us bullshitting and something happened in the last week or two that we want to talk about and just reconnect with our audience. Other than that, we'll be back for Super Bowl. We'll have it all covered from the entertainment, food, to the game, the player props, the picks, whatever it is.
You can tune in.
All right. We'll see how it all shakes out. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. It's been the championship week of On Top the Cage.